It's unbelievable that you could take a corner of a place like this where nothing but cows have ever been and actually turn it into a place that's done so much good for people.
We were within a group in our church that was praying for something for our youth here, and he pulled up, and it was like this was the answer to our prayer.
I didn't know what to think here at first, I really didn't. Here's two total strangers, and they're talking about building a camp on the corner of a ranch out in the middle of nowhere.
In August of 1980, we moved to the ranch, and there was nothing, literally nothing there. No water, no electricity, just land. And so just imagine the tree line 35 years ago. A lot of these weren't even here.
I thought they were very brave. We couldn't believe the faith they had in just coming out here and with little kids and living in a tent till they could get going. It was amazing.
Pretty much where the gym sits, we had 2 tents, and then we had an outhouse where the rappelling tower was, and that's what we used. So we had in there a crib, a changing table, and in this like umbrella part, we had some clothes hanging on there, and then we just lived on mattresses.
I remember sleeping on those, and I remember it raining, and my dad would get a trench, like he dug underneath the tents, the water, passed through.
But to know how much blood, sweat, and tears and heart went into making this entire place from nothing.
Matter of fact, Tim had a sawmill that he made most of these buildings with and sold lumber, I guess to make enough money just to keep operating out here.
Wow. It started right there. We're just where the rock is, but it wasn't rock now. You have to remember it being logs.
I think about what he did, when his first log cabin, that he went and logged everything and, and hauled out the logs out of the woods and cut them on the sawmill. And we were there helping. He had us with those little peelers.
The people in this area just thought he was a loon. I mean, just bizarre.
Tim did not have to know the outcome of a scenario to enter into it.
We didn't have like $1 million and came and whipped this camp up. No, it was really started with 10s and 20s, and it still operates that way today.
Tim had a dream that was bigger than he was, and he was trying to accomplish that dream.
First year of camp was limited, but they came. We had mud wrestling.
And during that time, you have to understand that there wasn't all these counselors, Tim and Charlene.
We had to decide. It was just the ranch at first. And Tim said, well, what do you want to do? You want to keep it Ma-Pa and we do everything forever and that's it? Or do we want to expand? And that means we're going to have to let go and entrust other people. Milestone.
It was all about building the kingdom. Whether it was cleaning a toilet or serving a meal or pouring a foundation, it was about pouring a foundation for the students or the families in Mexico and just sharing the love of Christ.
Out of the clear blue, I remember one day he turned into the ranch and he said, "Guess what?" I said, "What?" He said, there's a man back east who doesn't even know the Lord, and he wrote me a check for $80,000. I'm going to buy that property to build a camp for 8 to 12-year-olds.
He had the land, and we had the desire and the heart to build the camp, and he did too. And so we just joined forces, and we came over as missionaries from Melanie Park to learn camping first of all, and then to help build Fort Lone Tree.
In the summertime with the 8 to 12-year-old kids, they look up to their counselors and remember their counselors like they're superheroes or something.
We always pray and hope that God's presence would be there and people would feel that and they would come to the fort and just feel our love for them and God's love.
It's just like the rest of the camps, we do high adventure activities, and we use that as a platform to share the gospel.
We thought we could do anything, and when it came to rebuilding the camp in a new location, he's like, well, you know, all you gotta do is level the ground, and sure, you'll have to go rent a steamroller and rent a water truck and a backhoe, and thinking, how do you do that in Mexico?
As Lone Tree began to be established in the area, every year new people would be called of God to come and work here.
He looked for people that had a heart and were passionate.
And they would bring their integrity and their honor and their character and their love for God into dark places.
I look at what awesome structures we've built here with these huge buildings and 50-foot tall ropes course and this huge tower. And when I stand here for hours and hours belaying kids, none of that means nothing when you look at the backdrop and look what God does.
Really?
I mean, it pales in comparison. It was like he just expected God to provide. And he has.
And I just remember him always saying, you know, calming our fears, our insecurities by saying, God doesn't call the equipped, he equips the called.
God says, I will go before you and I will bring my people.
Our philosophy is real simple. Basically, what we do is we use adventure-based activities to build trust, then spend quality time with the kids and build a relationship with them. And once that relationship is established, we then have a platform for ministry and in meeting the needs that these young people have when they come to camp.